Hey everybody, what's going on? Matt here from Planes, Trains, and Comic Books podcast. Just catching you all up on what I've been reading this past month. So far for February, I was reading. I've read all the way through this Wzzywig hardcover. A little bit on the fat side, but not too bad because the printing is all pretty much just 6 page panels or 6 panels per page with like small writing and whatnot, so you don't have too much stuff. But it's an indie black and white book by Ed Piskor, and it's kind of based on a true story. It's like an amalgamation of a bunch of different hackers, like life stories, kind of, where he like uses one character, and that one character went through a couple different hackers' real stories in their lives, but just all through this one character kind of thing. It's pretty good. It's called Wzzywig: Portrait of a Serial Hacker, which kind of makes it like Jeffrey Dahmer or like no Henry: Portrait of a Serial Killer. So it's kind of like that play on words, because basically it's like he's a criminal, but he's not really doing anything. I mean, he's doing things that are illegal, but it's all to like numbers and zeros and ones. It's not like hurting humans or whatever, but he goes to jail for longer than someone who like murders people or whatever. So it's kind of like that. It's a little bit of political statement on it too, but not too much. Very enjoyable. I enjoyed it very much. Ed Piskor is growing on me. I'm really liking a lot of his stuff. So then I read Gotham Central. That one was digital. It's basically like a procedural police drama, but in the world of Batman, because it's like Gotham PD. And this one really revolves around Montoya, who you might know from like the animated series. She's the Hispanic cop, and I believe this is the series where we find out that she was gay, or like that's where they reveal that, which I hadn't read before. I didn't know where that came from. I just knew that she was in these more newer issues, anything from like past 2000. Before that, they didn't really hit on any of that, but this really gets into her relationships. It's basically someone ends up blackmailing her, and then she gets framed for murder. So it like goes into all their like history and personal details and whatnot of each of these policemen or police people. And so yeah, it's really good. The writing's really good. Like I said last time, I believe it's Ed Brubaker for sure, and then Greg Rucka, I think, writes some of it as well. I believe they actually trade storylines. So like the first 10 issues is Ed Brubaker, then the second 10 issues is Greg Rucka, and the third 10 issues is going to be Ed Brubaker again. So it's kind of cool. Like really good writers. Both do crime well. So it's a good story. I highly recommend that. I read that one digitally though, and then yeah, the Knightfall, Batman Knightfall is the next thing I'm reading. I didn't finish it yet. It's a little thick. I got through I don't know, just under half. So pretty good. It's a little bit slow. I mean, it's 90s comics. So 90s comics, they're dragging it out over lots of multiple series. So like this collects, Batman, Detective Comics, Catwoman, what are the other ones? Like I don't know, Fear of the Bat, Robin, Nightwing, all those tie together in this book or for this storyline. So each of basically they're just put in order in these big collections so that you don't have to find them and put them in order, which makes it nice for the reader. But you're ending up reading things you wouldn't normally read. Like if you just read Batman, well, now you're reading Catwoman and Nightwing and Robin and all this other stuff, which is different. You might not like the writing style or the art. I will say the art in this is somewhat hit and miss. There was one artist in here that I was like, what the hell is this? Let's see if I can find it real quick. But basically, oh yeah, here it is. It's just, I don't know. It's very, very, very 90s. There's lots of chains and weird like pointy art going on. There's a really kind of bad villain called the Tally Man, which I was like, what the hell is this? Oh yeah, this is like, so you see it's like Shadow of the Bat, which I've never read, featuring the Tally Man as the main bad guy, and then like just really, really, I don't know how to say it other than 90s kind of trashy artwork. So like you get a splash page and you got to make sure you see all his pouches and like all those things. Just make sure you see it. Yeah. So like, and the tally man is just like a weird black shape that keeps like moving and stuff. I don't know. He's not a very defined villain, other than he's got a weird, crazy gun that's got like knives on it and shit. Because the gun's right there, and it looks kind of like I don't know. He's holding something. Like, I don't know, just a piece of metal that's jagged, but it's actually a gun that's, whatever. So it's a weird, there's some weird art in it, and then there's some really great art. I never really read anything that has art by Jim Ballant, but his art's really good in this. I do know that he gets criticism for drawing buxom ladies, as I guess now he kind of draws stuff that's more like mature and whatnot, but like, this is pretty solid Catwoman. As I was reading this, I was like, I wonder if I guess Tim Sale did the Long Halloween Batman, I think, around this time, and he has a very similar costume, and I wonder if he just like, oh, this is the costume from the Catwoman series, so I'm gonna like Tim Sale it up, but this is where the design came from, because it looks very similar, and I like that costume a lot in that book. But Knight's Quest, I'm working my way through it. I'll probably be done the end of this month, and then on to volume 3, and then I'm probably going to do like a whole volume set review, because it's something that I don't think we'll be able to get to in the podcast, just because it's so long and so fat, and like John's not going to read that, and then we're not going to talk about it for an hour. It'll be like a 4-hour podcast if we did that. So but I can go over like the stuff and kind of sell you on this stuff. But so that was good. And then these are the individual issues I read this week, or not this week, but this I guess February so far. I got The Frost Giant's Daughter from the Cimmerian comics that we were talking about last time. This is number 3, so this is the final issue. As you can see, you got Conan on the cover and a sexy red-haired lady that he's hugging. This was a great series. I'm actually going to do a review of this as well, because it was done very well. It's probably like one of my favorite storytellings of this specific story, because they do it in a different way than I'd seen it before. The art's really good. It really captures like what the story was going for. Just like Conan in like a blood frenzy, getting approached by this like naked lady that's luring him to his death, and he like gets possessed by her, and then like she betrays him basically to her brothers, who like she was setting a trap. And yeah, so like just the way that they tell it is different than any other way I've seen told before. So it's kind of like from her point of view, so it's very interesting. I liked that one a lot. Then the next one I read was Furture State Swamp Thing number 2. I don't know if you guys are up on what's going on with DC, but this month and last month they had this run of books called Furture State, which was kind of like in like far in the future, here's what the heroes look like, here's what's been going on. And they a lot of them changed, either like obviously Batman, Bruce Wayne can't live for 200 years or whatever, however far in the future it was. So they did this guy has taken up the mantle and it's this person or whatever. So kind of like that, they revamped a bunch of characters, kind of created new characters that they could have their own universe and write their own stories, depending on which ones probably got the most fanfare. I know that Swamp Thing got a lot of fanfare, and so did Wonder Woman, the new Wonder Woman that they released, who's like a Brazilian Amazonian. So that was cool. But Swamp Thing Furture State was fucking awesome. And number 2 was the last issue of it, and it's basically just Swamp Thing kicking ass. We find out what happened in this post-apocalyptic future world where everything's covered with ice, and like how Swamp Thing is just awesome, and like a new set of powers, and how like the green is always there for the earth and for humanity somewhat, so even when humans fuck shit up. So yeah. And then the next one I read was Taarna 1 and 2. Those ones, if you don't know who Taarna is, I think that's how you pronounce it, Taarna. It's the woman from like the woman hero from the heavy metal movie. So that makes sense. So in the 80s there was a heavy metal movie. There was a girl named Taarna in it who like became this warrior, and she was the last Tarakian, who was like this race of people that like keep justice through the universe, I believe. So that's kind of, I've never really read too much of it. I just know the character from the heavy metal 80s movie. And then I saw that Stephanie Phillips was writing it, and I like her writing, so I checked it out, and it's really good so far. I give that one 2 thumbs up, but or 2 thumbs up. But basically, this story arc kind of just sets up who she is so far. Like she's going around through the universe, righting wrongs, at least saving, you know, planets that are doomed, kind of thing. And then she's confronting like the ultimate evil people, which is like that green orb in the heavy metal movie that like possesses people to do evil things and whatnot. So yeah, like right now we're just at that point, but it's been good so far. It is a mature title, along with the Frostgiant's Daughter. Those both have nudity, different companies, but Frostgiant's Daughter has a lot of nudity, and so does Taarna. Not a lot, but like you know, it's the heavy metal movie. So if you've seen the heavy metal movie, or you know what that is, it's definitely like she walks around in a like kind of leather strappy get up, I don't know, outfit that is revealing, I guess you'd say. It's not your normal standard armor, but she's badass with it. So yeah, but she's got this big ass sword, and she kills people with a strappy leather thing on. So if that's your thing, check it out. Even if it's not your thing, check it out, because it's kind of different. This is just like setting up you know, like her own storyline, and I'm enjoying it. So then I read Maniac of New York, which I just bought this on a whim. There's like when I go to the comic book shop and there's only like 1 or 2 things in my pull list, I walk around, and anything that kind of strikes my fancy I might pick up. Usually that's what I do for like digital stuff. Like I'll look at, you know, a title on the rack and go, oh, I got to remember that and buy it digitally, because if it's something I don't know, I don't necessarily want to collect it in single issues. So but this one, it caught my eye, and I had only spent like $10. So I was like, oh, might as well spend 20 and buy a couple other ones. So I bought this one, Maniac of New York. I didn't know what it was, but I remembered the artist on this, Andrea Muti, or yeah, I think it's out Muti. They had done Hellblazer, so that's why I was like, oh, I think I know that name. And then I don't know who Elliot Kalin is, but that's the writer, or Callan. Yeah, but anyway, this is like, what if Jason Takes Manhattan was better? Or it's kind of like a better story, like this masked dude who's basically Jason, like he's got a hockey mask on and a fucking machete, and he's walking around, and it starts off with like on New Year's Day, this guy just went into the crowd in the middle of New York, what's that called, Times Square, when they're gonna like do the ball drop and everything, and he just started murdering people with a machete, and killed like a bunch of people, and the cops couldn't shoot him and take him down. They just I mean, I guess he wouldn't go down from anything, so then, but he would just disappear. And so for the last 4 years he's been like appearing, killing people, disappearing. So the town is terrified of this maniac who's going around killing everybody. He's a mass murderer. So it's kind of an interesting take. I was very like, I'll totally give this a shot, because I'm a big fan of Jason movies, of the Friday the 13th franchise. So that's one of the reasons why I was digging it. So if you like that kind of thing, you'll check that out. It's good. Another one I picked up just from the cover and what the inside looked like was Fear Case, which is by Matt Kint and Tyler and Hillary Jenkins on the art. And this was, at first I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I thought it was like a detective procedural just from like the cover of it, or like a crime book or something. But it's kind of like It Follows, that horror movie. There's a case, like an actual case, because it's called Fear Case. There's like a case, or like a box of some kind of container that is like, if you pass it to someone, you're supposed to, if you receive it, you have to pass it to someone you hate within 3 days. If not, the someone you love will die or whatever, something like that. Like it's just a really fucked up like The Ring kind of thing, where like, oh, you watch this videotape, you're gonna die in 3 days kind of thing. But with this, just like It Follows, you can pass it on to the next person and you don't die or nothing bad happens to someone you love. So these two cops are trying to like discover like what the fuck is this thing going on, this box, and like what is this case and what does it have to do with like these dead bodies that keep appearing around the world. And it's like an ongoing case that like basically it's kind of like a joke within I think they're with the CIA or something, but it's like a joke within the CIA. Like they give the new guys, like the brand new junior, detectives coming in from the academy, they give them this case to see if they can solve it. Everybody's got a year to solve it, and if they don't, it just goes to the next new guy. So it's kind of interesting. I wanted to find out more, so I'm probably gonna keep buying this one. So that was that one. And then I also read, and you might have seen my review on this, but Hellblazer, The Rise and Fall, this is number 3, came out this last week, and I actually saved up all 3 of them to read because I don't like to, I don't know, I just felt like I tried to start to read the first one and I was like, you know what, it feels like a story that I want to like read all at once, so I'm just going to read them all at once. So I waited until all 3 came out, and but this series is one of the best Hellblazer series I've read for a while. And I'm very, very happy that it was good. It is by Tom Taylor and art by Derek Robertson. It's like if you didn't see my review, Hellblazer is haunted by something that happened in his past when he was a kid. As usual, he's always haunted by something in his past, but this is like a new event that we hadn't seen before. Where he's haunted by something that happened as a kid to one of his friends, and then it's related to, in present day, killing or not killings, but deaths that are occurring from these like billionaires that have been found like spiked through on steeples or like up high, and then falling down to like the ground and whatnot. They've just been like falling out of the sky basically with angel wings tied or sewn to their back. So like people are like, what the fuck are these things? And they're like, oh, he knows they're angel wings, but they just look like props or something to someone who doesn't know. So someone obviously has been stealing angel wings, and the devil gets involved because someone tried to steal his wings and whatnot. So there's like a whole mix of things. There was some parts where I didn't know who Tom Taylor was, so I was like going in tepidly, like I don't know, is this guy good, is he not? And this guy's good. So yeah, that's pretty much all I read for the last 2 weeks. So this month I'll be doing the follow-up at the end of this month, hopefully finish this bad boy and move on to the third one, and then whatever I pick up in the meantime, I'll for sure cover then too. And everybody, just like always, the links to all these books I've been talking about are down below in the video description. So please like, share, and subscribe if you guys like this content. And we're putting some more out. I think we got like an unboxing coming up soon, and I'll try to do some more reviews as well. And I guess we'll see you guys next time.